everyone, it's John from WoTup, and welcome back to another video. Now we're talking two different things today. We're talking some unofficial, I guess, news about Season 3 from WoTSeries.com. They've compiled sort of everything we know article about it. There's a couple of things I want to highlight in that. And then we're talking about some leaks. Now, these leaks come from the set, and they feature the rising sun of Cairhien, as well as a little village in Italy where they did some filming for Season 2. We're going to talk about that today, too. So if you're new to the channel, you don't know what we do here, we cover Wheel of Time show news. So anything and everything to do with Wheel of Time, well, that's kind of what we talk about here. If you like that sort of thing, make sure you click the subscribe button and the notification bell, because we put out a couple of videos per week and they're all Wheel of Time centric. Now, today's video, I do have to give a slight spoiler warning because we're going to show images that may spoil some things for Season 2 of the Wheel of Time. So, spoiler warning, in today's video, we're talking about and showing images from Season 2 of Sony and Amazon's Wheel of Time show. So if you haven't seen the first season, that's episodes 1 through 8 on Prime Video, and you haven't read the first 3 books of Robert Jordan's Wheel of Time series, that's The Eye of the World, The Great Hunt, and The Dragon Reborn. Be forewarned, we're going to ruin plot points and character arcs from all of that, because I'm going to do just a little bit of speculating. And if you don't want to know anything about Season 2, then perhaps this isn't the video for you. Just a warning. All right, that being said, let's get on to the video. All right, so the first thing I want to talk about is an article from WoTSeries.com, and I've left that article down below in the description box. I'm only going to bring up 2 points from it, so you're going to have to read the article to get the rest of it, but it's everything we know about Season 3 so far, and it's a really interesting read. Make sure you go support our friends at WoTSeries.com over there, and leave a comment on the article saying it came from WoTup. Show them some love, because they have more scoops than Ben and Jerry's. They have basically uncovered and released more news in the Wheel of Time than everyone, including the official sources, combined at this point. They're absolutely fantastic. So what are we talking about from this article? Well, 2 things. The first one is that production will likely start in March of next year, and that completely lines up with everything I've been hearing from my sources, that we're probably seeing a release of late spring, early summer next year for Season 2. That could change, of course, but that's what I've been saying for over a year now. And they're probably going to start filming around the same time. So if they're going to start production or pre-production in March of next year, completely lines up with what I've been hearing, and I'm really happy to hear that they're going on to start filming Season 3. We know it's been greenlit, but it's nice that they're actually getting plans together to film it. Now, the second thing in this article is the fact that they are going back to the Czech Republic to film. Now, that was up in the air at the end of Season 2 because the Czech Republic kind of did away with the film credit that they were giving people to film their shows in the Czech Republic. Now, it's a lot of money. It's a big chunk of change. And with that, certain people, including from WoTSeries, were able to figure out the budget for Season 1 because of the money they get back from that film credit. And that's gone now. So we're talking tens of millions of dollars. It's a lot of money, and a lot of productions have pulled out of the Czech Republic. A lot of Disney, a lot of Marvel, a lot of Netflix productions that were going there. They're not going back to film in the Czech Republic because they're not getting that film credit. They'll go elsewhere where they can get more money or more bang for their buck. So we were kind of wondering what was going to happen with Season 3 of The Wheel of Time. They filmed Season 1 and Season 2 largely in the Czech Republic, in and around Prague at Jordan Studios and the areas surrounding the city. Of course, in some other locations as well, but the bulk of it was filmed in the Czech Republic. But it looks like, yes, they will be going back to the Czech Republic to film, which is really very neat. So I'm glad to hear that, for nothing else than continuity's sake, and for a lot of the cast and crew that live there, because a lot of them do, and wouldn't want to have to see them move just to follow the production of the show. So there's that. All right, so now we're getting into leaks. This is your last warning. These leaks come to us from Wheel of Time Love on Instagram. Now, if you don't know who that is, that's Narg from the Daily Trolloc, for those of you who've been in the fandom for a very, very long time. He used to run a blog, and then he had a Twitter account, and now he's on Instagram, and this is his 2nd or 3rd Instagram account. He keeps getting banned. so there's that. Narg has posted a couple of things in the last week or two, showcasing some leaks. And the first one, now, before I show these, I want to say, take these with a grain of salt. I really don't know if they're from the Wheel of Time. I really don't know 100%. I have no confirmation from my sources that these things come from the sets, although it's likely that they do, because a lot of Narg's stuff seems to come from personal Instagram of cast, crew, and different people that work on the Wheel of Time. He just follows them and then kind of repurposes things that they post and puts them up on his Instagram account to showcase them. So they're likely from the Wheel of Time, but again, nothing official and no real extra information on this stuff. So take this with a grain of salt. First one is Rafe Judkins, a showrunner, and a bunch of other people have mentioned that they filmed in Italy, and Daniel Henney actually said that Italy was one of his favorite filming locations for season 2. This photo is allegedly from the Italian village where some filming occurred for season 2. Really cool. It looks like sort of an encampment outside the village. I like this. It looks like a bunch of people are on the road. I really do enjoy the way this picture looks. Again, take this with a grain of salt. I'm not 100% sure this is from the Wheel of Time, but if it is, this certainly does come with the way the sets look and how polished and cool and fantasy-esque the sets look. Now, I also, I'm not going to lie to you, I also, when I saw this, got some Lord of the Rings vibes from this, but Lord of the Rings tends to look very similar to the Wheel of Time when shown side by side, at least production value and the way things look, how pretty things are. So it's entirely possible. Now, the second one, this is more likely from the Wheel of Time because it is the rising sun of Cairhien. And this looks to be our very first photo of Cairhien. Now, this again comes from Wheel of Time Love. It's a bit blurry, he says, but it looks like a match for the Cairhien rising sun. Not sure if the street view is the same exact location, though. And I would say it likely is. It kind of looks that way to me. I've looked at these pictures pretty close, and I would say this is likely the rising sun in these banners, and this is probably parts of Cairhien. Now, banners like that, I'd say this is probably outside Barthane's Manor. Perhaps that's what this is, or maybe the Royal Palace, or even the gate from between the foregate to the main city. That's probably a likely spot for either of these. Now, recently we had confirmation from both Rafe Judkins during a Q&A and Donald Finn during the sit-down at CCXP 22 that Cairhien would be in Season 2, and it's kind of fun that this comes out around the same time that these pictures are shown of Cairhien. I like this. I like the fact that we're going to see this, and I think if I had to speculate, I'd say this is probably going to be one of the major cities going forth after Season 2, because let's face it, if they're building sets or they're filming like things like this, we're probably going to see more of them because they did that with White Tower in Season 1. We knew it would be recurring every year. Now, I'm kind of wondering, and you guys, I want to hear your thoughts on this in the comments down below. Do you think that Cairhien will take the place of, say, Caemlyn or Tyr in later seasons of the Wheel of Time? You think we'll spend less time in Tyr, less time in Caemlyn, and more time in Cairhien? Now, kind of goes to show that maybe just maybe they're going to change some other things, and we know that Elaine has a claim to the Sun Throne at Cairhien, and that in the book series there was some storylines centered around that. Maybe that's a little more centric to the plot in the series on the show. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section what you think this could be. All right, either way, that's all the leaks and news I have for you for today. I want to thank you all so very much for sticking with me here to the very end, and here's to many more.